everybody. I'm going to show you guys the basic strike pace for creative Nunchaku forms. So this is a flow that you're going to see done in like most of the striking. I try to keep this flow the entire time I'm doing the form. It's called a 3 count. I may have done a video on this before, but I'm going to show you 3 count, 2 count, and 1 count all in the same video. But it's starting here, right, from my attack pose. Here, doesn't matter. I might be in a stance, but I'm going to go same hand, same shoulder. I'm going to strike to my opposite hip. And I'm going to strike across to the same hip. Strike up, kind of like an uppercut, back to the shoulder. So it creates a triangle. Opposite, same, back. 1, 2, 3. That's your 3 count. A lot of your tricks, a lot of your variations are going to come based off some kind of 3 count pattern. All this is kind of just based on the timing that I'm used to doing. So 3 count, this one. Start with 3 count. It's going to feel easy, and it should. It's your base. So you want to make sure the base is feeling comfortable. 2 count, and the reason why it's called 3 count is you're kind of bouncing off yourself 3 times. 2 count, you're going to bounce off yourself twice. I'm just going to start the same way, same shoulder, same hand, hip, and then instead of going across, just back to the shoulder. Hip, shoulder, hip, shoulder. This is what I count, 2 count. You may hear somebody call it something else, but this motion, if you see it, that's what we're talking about. So try getting that used to that, right? Just 1 hand to start with, but I will show you 2 hands in this video as well. And then 1 count, even though it still bounces twice, it's kind of mirroring this count instead of this count. So 3 count, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 2 count, opposite hip, back to the shoulder. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1 count, you're going to kind of bounce off either your bicep or your armpit, which is a strike and back. It's a lot faster than the 2 count, right? 1, 2. Just here. All right? So get used to those counts. Do a set of these, a set of these, and a set of these. Once you feel comfortable with that, make a little flow where you'll do like 2 sets of 3 count, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2 count, 1 count. And just practice this over and over and over. Once you feel good with like 2 sets, take it down to 1. 1 set of each. 1 set of 3 count, 1 set of 2 count, 1 set of 1 count. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. It looks so much more dynamic when you change it up quicker, right? One more time. 1, 2, 3, 2 count, 1 count. And you can just kind of keep going into it. And you want to keep it the same. That's where the repetitions matter, is you want to keep it uniform. Kind of like music, right? You're playing a 4 count. You want to make sure that 4 count is consistent so you can lay down the cooler noises and instruments over top of it. Same thing here. You want to find a consistent bass that you can keep going with, but you can also have fun with it. I'm going to show you how to do all this stuff with 2 chucks now. With this one, your timing is going to be a little bit off. I'm going to show you 3 count with the chucks and how to make it basic, and then the extra variation. Across, same hip, up to the shoulder. And then I go other hand, super easy. Across, same hip, shoulder. And I'm doing a little front stance hip switch. You don't have to, but if you want to make your whole body look dynamic, go for it. I'm going across, same up, across, same up. And it's just here. On this one, I'm letting it finish all 3 strikes before I start the other set. If you're feeling good with that, with a 3 count to make it look a little bit more interesting, as you're starting that last upward strike, the 3 and the 3 count, you're going to be starting the first strike with the other hand. So it's 1, 2, strike, strike. As it comes up, the other hand starts. Up, other hand starts always across the hip for 3 count. And then you start going faster and faster and faster, right? And you can change the directions, but it's just 3 count. Always feeling that bounce. And then you can start doing other things with it, but the pace and your beat stays the same with it, all based off that 3 count pattern. Let me show you 2 count pattern, same thing. 1, 2, 1, 2. As this hand comes back, you're going to go 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. If you want to make it where it's a little bit faster, a little cooler, a little more dynamic, as it comes back to your shoulder, other one strikes. 1, 2. Ends up kind of being this, right? Kind of cool. For a long time it looks goofy, so you don't want to do it too long, but you can add the effect that you're trying to go for. And then the one count with alternating, this looks kind of super dorky where it's at the same time, so I wouldn't really encourage that one to make one count look pretty cool. But I mean, starting out, you can learn it that way. Feel free. Just know it's not the visually most exciting thing. But if I go here and then switch, so it's kind of off time one count, it's a lot more dynamic, right? I can go 3 count and now 1 count. 3 count, 1 count. And that's how you're going to be making a lot of your combos, is mixing up that count. I'm going to show you guys just a couple more flows, and I'm going to explain which count I'm going to with each hand, right? So I've got, you got your 3s. Now I'm doing 2 count, but going both hands following that same pattern. Here, back to 1, 2, 1. One hand going 2 count, one hand going 1 count. But if you know your beats, you can make some pretty cool things happen. And it's just knowing your beats, your bass 3 count, and remembering hip, hip, shoulder, shoulder. Those are the main bouncing points that your nunchucks will strike. And these are all strikes, I'm not adding any spins. You can add spins, but it will slow down the pace of the count that you're trying to go for. Get used to that, have fun, mess with these counts.